Good afternoon, everyone. Calling to order the May 7th meeting of the Fishers Plat Committee. Please stand and join me for our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Secretary, please call the roll.
Yes. Ms. Stoller,
Here.
Mr. Mackey,
Here.
Mr. Hillary.
Here.
Thank you.
Next item is the approval of previous minutes for the Plat Committee minutes of April 2nd, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from April as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, next up is the public hearings. First one is Balmoral Village. This is the request to approve a primary plat of 174 lots on approximately 44.6 acres, known as Balmoral Village. Grace?
Good evening. Grace Wiley, planner for the City of Fishers. I am presenting primary plat 25-4 for the Balmoral Village residential development. Subject site is located in the northeast corner of the city at the northwest corner of, oh, I'm so sorry, I described it wrong. It is located between Allisonville Road and Willowview Road off of Hamilton Hills Lane. The property is approximately 44.6 acres, shown here. The site zoning is PUD-R in the Balmoral PUD. The zoning will remain unchanged. The surrounding area, as shown here, is zoned R2, PUD-C, and municipal airport. The request is to subdivide the property into 174 lots for single-family homes and townhomes. You can see the proposed site layout and plat here. Access will be provided via Hamilton Hills Lane and Willowview Road. 4 internal public streets and 10 internal private streets will be constructed as part of the development. The proposed architecture and site plan design were heard and approved at the January 8th PUD committee meeting. One public comment was received from Brian Mack expressing concerns about parallel parking along Hamilton Hills Lane. The full comment was provided to the committee members ahead of this meeting. Mr. Mack's home is shown with a star on the map above. This plat is in line with the objectives of the Fishers Unified Development Ordinance and aligns with the future land use map, suburban residential. Staff recommends approval of PP 25-4 as presented. A public hearing is required. Staff is available for questions, and the petitioner is also here for questions. Thank you.
Do you have any comments from the petitioner?
Good afternoon. Taylor Navarre with Lennar Homes. Thank you all for hearing us today. I don't have any further comments. I appreciate Grace and staff's support in working with them and you all throughout this process. The site plan has not changed since the zoning process. It's consistent with the conceptual plan that was part of the PUD rezone. And we are working through all the comments related to the TAC review. I believe we've addressed most, if not all of those at the primary plat stage. We'll continue to address any comments that come up with the secondary plat and construction plans. Our team is continuing to have conversations with city staff and the mayor's team on expected improvements, right-of-way improvements, and meeting the standards for construction plans. So I don't have any other comments, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you all or the public may have on this. Thanks.
And it's a public hearing, right?
Yes, because there's no public right away.
Okay, since this is a public hearing, we will now open we will open the public hearing. Please state your name and address for the record and make your comments. We will note your comments and questions, and we'll answer those questions after the conclusion of the public hearing. So if you have any comments about this item, please step forward.
Micah Legmack, 9777 Willowview Road.
Can you please talk? Yeah, there you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed your name.
Micah Langmack. Micah Langmack. I live at Riley Acres. It's adjacent to this property. Riley Acres is on the south. It's where the Riley Acres, right there. 9777 Willowview Road. My question is, I've been asking about the possibility of getting sewer and water as part of this project, a stub out for that. I don't know as now's the, I've been talking with Lennar, but I don't see anything on here with this plat revision about that. So I wanted to express that, to see if that's a possibility still. And then the drainage at the back of our property, the northwest corner of our property, is a very low spot that retains water, and we are wondering, I've been talking with Lennar also about that. I just wanted to make sure that gets addressed as part of this change. There were a number of other questions that they're working on also, but I don't think they were necessarily related to the plat. Correct. I'm on Willowview. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Anyone else that has a comment on this item? If not, then I will close the hearing. Anyone from the petitioner's side, or Grace, do you have an answer for the comment?
I can speak on the sewer connection. So we are requiring Lennar to install sewer connections or sewer along this area. And if the applicant would, or the property owner wants to connect, then we can have that discussion individually. An annexation would be required to connect to our sewer system. But I can touch base with you one-on-one afterwards if you'd like on that one.
Do we have any staff comments or analysis? No? Anything from the boards?
Just, I mean, I know this is going through TAC, but Hamilton Hills Lane, that's going to be widened, and there's going to be enough room for parking, parallel parking along the side and stuff like that, correct?
We are under the impression that that was part of the TAC comments from our staff to the developer. That's correct, right, Grace? Yep.
Okay.
Anything else on your part? No. Grace, can you show me where the public roads are and the private roads?
Sorry, I don't have the exhibit that has them all highlighted, but the public roads are going to be, and Taylor, correct me if I'm wrong, Balmoral Village Way, Conservatory Way, Highland Grove Drive, and Daffodil Trace.
Okay, we would like, or at least I would like to see the site distance on all of these intersections. And if there is a location that needs to be identified as a no obstruction or no like planting, that would be part of the plat, so it does not interfere with any turning movements and sight distances. And that would be the condition, my condition of this approval for this plat, that it would be added on the plat.
Yeah, I think Grace pointed out accurately, I think the intent is to have the internal alleys be private in
Right.
a sense. I think that we can definitely provide better or more detailed landscaping plans with the construction plans as part of that approval to look at the site distance at that time, if appropriate.
Yeah, we just like those areas identified in the plat, that this is like a low area just for sight distances and nothing that comes in after, you guys turn it over to your HOAs, and it's a common area, but it's not designated as a no obstruction zone or something to that extent. I know there's a couple of different locations here that have short radii, small radius, so I'd like to see those locations identified, that we just don't have any site obstructions for those turn
Sure.
movements.
Yeah, we can definitely do that, and, that was considered as part of this design. Part of the rezone process, we eliminated one or maybe two east-west public streets onto Hamilton Hills Lane with that in mind, the
Right.
moving radius and light pollution into neighboring property owners' lots. And then back to the street parking, we've worked with staff to identify the appropriate layout for that with landscaping bump outs and things like that to help accommodate both the parking and the landscaping for the area.
Okay.
And part of the road improvements, like as we mentioned, we'll continue to work with staff and on those improvements with the construction plans through that phase.
Okay. Any other comments on that?
You can come up to the
You-
podium and state. You can come up to the podium and
Yeah.
state your name.
Name and address.
My name is Brad Trent, 10,000 Hamilton Hills Lane.
Okay.
If they're going to widen Hamilton Hills Lane, is it going to be coming out of my front yard, or is it going to be coming out of what's currently the Balmoral Village?
Yeah, that's a great question. That will be, the right-of-way widening will be part of our site on Lennar's property. We'll be doing, from my understanding, I'm not the expert on engineering, but we will be doing proper drainage improvements, curb and gutter on our side, and I believe some mill and resurfacing on what would be the west and then south side of Hamilton Hills Lane. So really any widening will be onto the Balmoral Village site and not necessarily into the adjacent property owners' existing lots.
Is it safe to say that any of your improvements is going to be within the public right-of-way and not on properties, other properties, like within your side and within the public right-of-way?
That is my understanding, yes.
Okay. All right. If we don't have any other comments, Grace?
I have a point of clarification on your condition that you proposed. So just to clarify, you would like the site distances recorded on the primary plat?
I would like the areas that are supposed to be free of conflicts based on the line of sights be identified on the plat.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make it condition, I'll make a motion to approve condition upon your,
Okay.
what you just said.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
On that. Ma'am, do you have a comment
Yes.
as well?
Shirley Smith, 9701 Hamilton Hills Lane. We're at the corner of Hamilton Hills Lane and Willowview, where the Lennar property will not intersect. So my question is, do you know at this time if they're going to widen Hamilton Hills Lane from the east side of Balmoral Village out to Willowview Road? We did see surveyors, it appeared, in our yard a week or two ago.
To my knowledge, there's no improvements to that section of Hamilton Hills Lane to Willowview.
To Willowview.
That's part of this project.
It's not part of the project, but
Unless
it
you
is on
have-
Hamilton Hills Lane.
Yeah, and again, like we mentioned, if there was any improvements to happen on Hamilton Hills Lane outside of that, it would be within the public right-of-way. So it wouldn't be on your right-of-way, it would be on the public right-of-way, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Is the public right-of-way a certain amount of feet, like 15, 5, or is that dependent on the plat?
It kind of varies from one property to the other, but obviously if there is going to be work along that area, that right-of-way will be staked, and it will be understood between where your property starts and where the public right-of-way starts. So there will be a...
Maybe this is the place to ask the question, so does our right-of-way move closer to our house then, and... are
I'm
we
sorry,
So does the road, if the right-of-way is used for widening the road, does the right-of-way then actually change and go into our property?
Unless they are planning to buy certain right-of-way from your property, then that will happen. Otherwise, everything will be public right-of-way as far as I can understand it.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, so do we have any other comments from the public? If not, Cecilia?
I'm still here.
Celine, sorry.
That's okay. I make a motion to approve conditional upon what you said.
Okay. Conditional upon providing those areas of free of obstruction in the plat.
I will second Selena's motion.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Secretary, please call the roll.
Ms. Stoller,
Aye.
Mr. Mackey,
Aye.
and Mr. Hillary.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. For the second part of this public hearing, it's Saxony Block AA. This is generally located on the intersection of Pennington Road and East 131st Street. This is the request to approve the primary plat of 4 lots on 7.9 acres, known as Saxony Block AA property. Gabrielle?
Thank you. So before you today is primary plat 25-5. So my name is Gabrielle Herron, and I am a senior planner in the planning department. This project is generally located at the northeast corner of the intersection of Pennington Road and East 131st Street. The parcel is located to the north is a proposed multifamily development that is currently approved but has not been constructed. And then to the east and south are townhome developments, and then to the west is a multifamily development. This whole area is zoned PUD-M under the Saxony PUD. The original PUD ordinance 021803A was adopted in June 2003 by the town council, but there have been updates since. The most recent ordinance is 101617B. So Kimley Horn, on behalf of Republic Development, requests approval of a primary plat of 4 lots on roughly 7.94 acres, known as the Saxony Block AA property. And then 2 of these lots were split by meets and bounds, and then the 3rd lot will be created, and it will become a parking lot for Saxony Hall, which is across the street on Pennington Road and adjacent to the old Saxony Beach. Shown here is the primary plat. This most recent version was uploaded yesterday. However, the agenda has since been updated. Access can be provided off Pennington Road, Airland Drive, Minden Drive, and or East 131st Street at the time of development per the engineering department. The development will be required to meet pedestrian network improvements. Future development will be required to meet minimum landscaping requirements under the UDO. The Saxony PUD defers to the UDO for landscaping. Then the minimum open space requirement is accounted for in the overall concept plan in the Saxony PUD. And then the development will connect to all major utilities, no waivers are requested. This plat is in line with the objectives of the Fishers Unified Development Ordinance. The parcel is zoned PUD-M and aligns with the future land use plan. Staff recommends approval of primary plat 25-5 as it meets all local and state requirements, and with the condition that all TAC comments are addressed. Thank you, and staff is available for any questions.
Any comments from the petitioner? No. All right, we will now open this to a public hearing. Please state your name and address for the record. Make your comments. We will note your comments and questions, and we'll answer those after the conclusion of the public hearing. So if you have any comments on this item, please step forward. Since there is no public comments, I will close the public hearing. Any staff comments or analysis? No? Board members? Do we have an exhibit of what that development looks like?
Of what?
The development, do we have an exhibit of what it looks like?
The only thing we know definitively now is there's going to be a parking lot. The parking lot is going to be 0.99 acres, and it is right across, it takes up that whole corner.
The northwest?
Of Pennington Road and East 131st.
Can you go back a couple slides?
Yeah.
So that kind of cake piece right there is directly opposite from the existing Saxony Hall. So the only thing we know of right now in this block is a parking lot to serve that building.
Do we know how many parking spaces are supposed to be there?
I believe it's approximately 50.
And this is serving Saxony Hall
It
and
is.
also the future development, or just
No,
Saxony Hall?
just Saxony
Just
Hall.
Saxony Hall.
Is there already parking at Saxony Hall?
On
On
street.
street.
On
there is,
street?
yeah.
How big is Saxony Hall?
Let me pull that up.
Because my concern is if they're like looking at turning this into a wedding venue type place, which I've kind of heard that, 50 parking spaces really isn't that many. And I'm a little bit up to my ears right now on parking issues. I don't want to create any more.
Is it 50 parking spaces here?
Sorry, I gave you the wrong number and I just realized it. I don't have it off the top of my head. I can look it up.
Do you guys have?
Or the applicant can.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Casey Fiacable. I am with Kinley Horn, which is the engineer for the site. This is for the primary plat, but we are under TAC review for the ILP for the parking lot as well as the secondary plat. For parking spaces, we are closer to 100 parking spaces within, or for the whole development. Specifically for that parking lot, I believe it's around 90 parking spaces and includes 3 ADA spaces. There are existing on-street parking spaces that are factored in for the Saxony Hall as well, including an ADA space that is on-street directly in front of the building.
Right.
So based on square footage, do we think that's enough parking?
90?
Yeah.
It is more parking than we require for that square footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
that's my question. I was gonna say, it looked like ample parking to
And
me,
for the
but I
use,
don't want to trust just a look judgment. so,
Understood.
Okay.
And we are still kind of coordinating with engineering and planning on where those pedestrian crossings are going?
That is correct.
Okay. Same item here. I don't know if there's going to be an ingress egress just south of this parcel or where that ingress egress is going to happen for any of that development. you?
I can speak on the topic as well. Engineering had made a comment to include an egress easement for where the entrance is off of Pennington Road. However, there is an instrument number from 2002 that specifies that there are cross-access easements across the whole development. And considering that we actually removed it from the primary and secondary plats. There is a note that is partially cut off that specifies that on the plat. Given the nature of it being across the whole PUD, there is no clear way to kind of show that other than a note.
Okay.
It'll move clear the site right
So
there.
I'm just looking at a schematic here. It would be, if anything, it would be right across from the existing, on the other side of Pennington, right? It's not going to be offset, that access?
So there is an existing access into the J.C. Hart Apartments across
Yes.
the way on Pennington Road. We are in line with
Okay.
that
right.
existing access.
I would probably make the same comment as we did on the other item, that we would want to identify the locations of, what is that?
Site
For the
triangles?
site triangles and the areas of no conflicts on the plat as well. So if we can identify those and identify those areas in the plat as well,
Okay.
that would work.
You can do that.
If there's no further comment, I will make a motion to, one, have all TAC comments addressed, and two, to include site triangle, distance, and/or conflicts on the plat.
Yep, no conflict areas. Yep. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Secretary, please call the roll.
Ms. Stoller? Sorry.
Aye.
Mr. Mackey?
Aye.
Mr. Hiller?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes. Do we have any old business?
No.
New business? Nope. Any new, any staff communications?
No staff communications.
If no, I will adjourn the meeting.